Okay. So, welcome everyone for this movement class. And the movement class we're working on today is exploring movement to support the breath. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why that's so important first. So our breathing affects the way we experience our day-to-day. It affects whether we feel anxious, and whether we feel anxious affects the breath. Our breathing affects how grounded we feel, how relaxed we feel, and how energized we feel as well. So by being more aware of the breath and being able to shift and change the way we're breathing, we're also able to shift and change the way that we experience our emotions and the way that we are able to navigate those emotions and shift and change them as well. And it's all well and good saying that, but a lot of us have lost the connection with the breath and lost the connection of where we're breathing and using the full capacity of the breath. And there can be a few ways in which our physical body can be supported to support the breath. And if we support the breath, we're able to have much better use of the breath and awareness of the breath. And we can really manipulate the way we're breathing so that we can positively affect what we're experiencing. And there's a few things that really affect how well we can breathe, and one of them is posture. If you think of someone who is slouching down, if you've been working at the computer, even if when you are not working at the computer, you have a good posture, but then as soon as you get to the computer, you're like this. Maybe you're working at home now and you're working in bed. I know I like to do that, and I find myself like this. Then this is restricting the amount of movement we have in our breath. It's making our breath more shallow. We're not able to breathe into the belly, so we're breathing further up in the chest. This affects our message that we're giving to the body as to whether we're safe or not. If we belly breathe, the body gets the message that we're safe. If we breathe up in our chest, then our body believes that we're in a place that we have to be on alert, because we are slipping into the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight nervous system. So simply having a slouched posture can really affect how we breathe. And often I was talking about it with a friend yesterday, often we just leave, we don't become aware of this part of our body. You know, if we're feeling stressed, sometimes we might get a massage, and we massage all different parts of our body, but we leave the belly. And if we think about when we're feeling stressed or frustrated or anxious, we often feel it in the belly, but we don't go there. We don't go and touch it or manipulate it or massage it or care for it. So we just have this sort of stagnant area here, though we have so many emotions that we physically feel here. So today we're going to open up the body and find some space, particularly in the torso, but all the way down to the hips as well, so that we can optimize our breath and so that we can really start to bring awareness to how we're using the breath and how we can use it to shift our emotions. So first of all, take your hands, interlace your fingers. We're going to do a really simple exercise to begin with. So we inhale, lift the hands to the sky, open up, deep inhale into the belly, and exhale, bring the hands in front of you, look down to the belly, and just pull the hands towards the front. Inhale, open up the wings wide. Think of opening up the chest. And exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, open up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the hands if you can. And exhale, bring the hands to interlace again. We'll do this a couple more times. Inhale with your breath. So inhale into the belly as much as possible here. Exhale, bring your hands together. And push the hands towards the front. Look down. Inhale, opening the wings nice and wide, opening the chest, opening the heart. And exhale, interlace the fingers. Inhale, opening up again, opening up the heart, lifting the hands, breathe into the belly. And exhale, bring the hands together. So you know where you're going now. You can do it with your eyes closed. Inhale, lift up, opening up the front of the body. Exhale, long exhale, push the hands towards the front, look down. Inhale, opening up the heart wide, lift up, open up. And exhale, bring the hands behind you, interlace. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, squeeze the ribs, lift up. And exhale, bring your hands to touch in front of the heart and then place them onto your belly. Keep the eyes closed. Now with the eyes closed, breathe into the belly and into your hands. And if you're someone who's now noticing that you habitually breathe up into the chest, then you can fake it before you make it and breathe, pushing the belly out into the hands just to start retraining the body to breathe into the belly. And the reason why we do this is when we inhale, our diaphragm contracts and lowers down and flattens. And we want to allow space for that in the belly so that we can really flatten out that diaphragm, and that pulls air into the lungs. And when we exhale, it relaxes and pushes up, and that pushes air back out. So we want to create a lot of space here. If we only breathe up into the chest, you can see I'm sucking the belly in, then we're not letting the air fill the lungs and we're not using the full capacity of the lungs. So take some deeper breaths here. Open the eyes. Let's come to all fours. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and we're going to open up the spine because a lot of time we have less mobility in the spine. It means that we can't use the full of our torso and find more flexibility in our breathing. So inhale, arching the spine, looking up to the sky. Exhale, pushing the ground away, look down towards the knees. And connect your breath now. Inhale, lift up. Arching, belly opening. Exhale, pushing the ground away, look down. One more like this. And then exhale. This time, inhale, come to a neutral spine. We're going to reverse the breath. Exhale, arching the spine, looking up. Now, inhale, curling the spine, looking down. So same movement, but reversing the breath. And exhale, arch the spine, look up. So when you inhale, push the ground away. Fill the back of the lungs. Inhale, still have a round belly. Nice, and exhale, arching the spine, looking up. Great, come back to neutral spine. We'll take the hands a little bit further in front. We're going to come to plank. So options to stay on your knees. You can lift the knees up or keep them down, but drop the hips down so that we're not letting them lift too far up or not coming too far down and coming into the lower back. So a nice solid spine, solid core if you have your knees on the ground, or take your knees off. And the reason why we're going to do this is this begins to develop the muscles around the core, around the ribs. Breathing deeply here. So we want to keep our long breaths even when things get tough. And this means we start to train up the body so when things get tough in our lives, we're still able to connect back to this deep breathing. And remember, this deep breathing tells the body that we're safe. When we're in high stress and anxiety, we start to turn our attention outside. We start to look for danger. And this is giving us the opportunity to train ourselves to stay calm even when things are getting tough. Keep breathing here. Keep the breath nice and long. Couple more moments. If you feel that the breath is tightening, then bring the knees down. The most important thing here is to keep the breath nice and long. Great, bring the knees back down. Inhale, take the right foot in between the hands. I'm going to open up the hips a little bit, and now even though obviously the pelvis is not directly related to the breath in the way that we don't move the pelvis to breathe, but the tightness in the hips affects our spine, it affects tightness in our chest. We have a sort of zigzag effect up the torso. So if we're feeling tight around here, it has a whole effect over the whole of the torso, and that affects how well we can breathe and use our lungs. So pad the back knee under if you need to. You might need to take a blanket or roll the mat under. Come up onto your hands onto your thighs and keep the right knee bent. We're going to inhale, open up the wings wide, bend the right knee, and exhale, straighten the front leg, bring the hands together. I think as the camera is reversed, it's actually your left leg. So inhale, bend the left leg that comes forward. Inhale, if you're copying me. And exhale, draw it together. Inhale, opening wide, bend the left knee. Now lift the heart a little bit more, bit of a back bend, but we are able to lift up in the front of the heart and still breathe deeply. You might even open the wings a little higher, a little wider. And as things get a little tough, you might feel a little shake here. Can you still breathe deeply? Can you still turn your attention to your breath? You might want to close the eyes. Nice. One more inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands to the ground. Just straighten up that front leg. Flex the toes towards the sky. Have a little wiggle from side to side with the hips, just straightening out that front leg. Great. Inhale, bend the left knee. Exhale, come back to all fours. We're going to take some rotations with that same leg. So left leg, inhale, lift that left leg back and up. Out to the side, it lifts up, and then exhale, bring it back underneath you. Inhale, left leg lifts back and up, opens up to the side as if you're cocking the leg to the side, and exhale, bring it down. Two more like this, but keep the rest of the spine nice and strong and steady. So you're still connecting to that deep breath, but you're not dipping your hips to the side, you're not dipping the spine, you're staying nice and strong. One more. Reverse that now. Inhale, left leg reach out to the side, then up to the sky. Exhale down. So this movement is really not about nailing the movement, but connecting with the breath and matching up the breath with the movement. So we're not just moving mindlessly and trying to get through as many reps as possible. And you might find that it begins a little tough in your hips, and notice how the breath is affected. We're training our body to stay calm through the breath. Great. Bring that left knee down. Take a sit back onto your heels. You can come up to sitting or let the head drop down. Inhale, come forward. We'll take the right foot forward, or opposite leg, whatever leg you were going on the other side. Bring the hands onto the knees. Bend that front leg. As you inhale, open the wings wide. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the leg and bring the hands together. Bend the right knee. Inhale, lift up, open up. And exhale. Great. Final one, but stay here this time. Inhale, bend that front knee, open up the chest, open up the wings. Close the eyes maybe, breathe deeply. Lifting the heart. We're not collapsing into the belly at the front, but we're lifting in the upper back and opening in the heart space. Inhale here. Exhale. Rocking back, flexing that front foot. Just take a couple of moments here to open up the hamstrings, open up the calf. Keep the belly nice and full with your inhales. Great. Inhale, bend the right knee. Exhale, step back to all fours. Inhale, right leg reaches back, right knee's bent and open up to the side. And exhale, bring it down. 3 more circles. Connect with your breath now. You might find that the movement is a little jolty and the breath's a little jolty. So it's really simple movement. Can you smooth it out as much as possible? One more. Smoothing out the movement as you smooth out the breath. Reversing the circle. Inhale out to the side and up to the sky. And exhale down. Keep going like this. Two more. One more. Great. Bring it back down. Come back to lying or sitting on your heels, either chest up or head down. Great. And then pad the hands back up. So we're going to stay on our knees. It might be that you want to take a cushion behind your hips. It might feel a little more comfortable. I'll just demonstrate this. We're going to take both fists, place them on our belly, and this might mean it might be a little too much to do it without a cushion in front of you as well. We're going to lie onto our fists with our head down, and as we lie down, we're going to slowly just move the fists just to give the belly a bit of a massage. And you can keep the fists in one place and just breathe, let your belly expand into the fists. If it's too much to do it like that, you can take another cushion underneath you and do it with another cushion. It's a little softer. So just massaging the organs, massaging the muscles around the belly. There might be a place you want to stay and just breathe there. As you breathe, imagine that the belly is hugging around the wrists. Nice massage for the belly. And slowly bring yourself back up. Keep your eyes closed. Just let the arms rest on the lap. Just notice what feels different, what feels the same. Great. Open the eyes. Come back to sitting. I'm going to open up the side of the ribs now. So we have the top ribs are connected to the sternum. When we breathe, the sternum comes out and up, or the ribs come out and up. And the bottom ribs are, some of them are connected to the bottom of the sternum and some of them are floating, so they're not connected to anything. And they have more ability to open up wide to the side. So they can expand, and when you breathe in, your ribs are really expanding to the side and your chest is coming forward and up. So we really want to create this space in the ribs and open up any muscles that maybe haven't been used for a while. So let's take our left hand down to the ground or onto the block if the ground's too far away. Inhale, right hand comes up and over. Now anchor that right hip down, so you're not picking that hip up. So it doesn't matter how far you go, we're breathing deeply here and opening up space in the right rib. So use your breath as a masseuse, a personal masseuse. Every inhale, see how much space you can create in the side of the ribs. Keep breathing. See if you can go a little further maybe. You might find opening in the side of the waist and into the hips as well. That's fine. You're breathing deeply. You might want to move that hand a little further away. Keep the breath nice and full. You might feel that it feels a little strange now. We're just going to keep going. A little strain, but that's fine. We're opening up the side of the waist. Inhale all the way up, and this time just pause with the eyes closed and notice if you have more awareness down that right side of the body. We'll go to the other side. Left hand comes up and over. We're going to stay here for a while, so breathe into those left ribs, opening up space. Keep finding more space with every inhale. Imagine that your breath is your personal masseuse. If it's too much for the neck, you can just look down. Maybe go a little further. Maybe the right hand creeps a little further away. Nice, and we inhale all the way up. And just pause with the hands on the thighs or the lap. And open the eyes. So now we're going to find some strength down the side of the ribs as well and into the core. So we've opened up that space with the breath, but now we're going to find a little more strength. So come to a side plank, and we'll start with the bottom knee. So I always forget. So I'm mirroring. I'm in reverse because it's a mirror screen. So this is actually your right leg, isn't it? Right leg's on the ground, left leg's straight, and open up and push towards the front of the room or towards the camera if you're facing me. And then the top hand comes up and over as well. We might stay here. It might be that you come to a full side plank. It might be that you come onto your elbows if you have any wrist problems. And now we breathe, and we're pushing the hips towards the sky and still opening up space in those side ribs. And it might get a little tough. And again, when it gets tough, this is when we still breathe deeply and we begin to train the body to stay with those beautiful, nourishing, deep breaths, even though things might get a little tough. So keep with the breath. If at any point you need to bring that bottom knee down, that's totally fine. Keep lifting the hips towards the sky, big banana shape. Nice. One more inhale here. Exhale, come down. We'll go straight to the other side. So again, you can take that bottom knee down, or you can come to a side plank with both legs straight. Top arm comes up and over as you push the hips to the sky, banana shaping the body. And breathe here. Still opening up space in the side ribs with every breath. Long, deep breaths, even when it gets tough. One more inhale. Exhale, come down, and we're going to come all the way down to the belly. And place the hands underneath the shoulders. Squeeze the elbows together. Back of the neck stays long. So for those of you who might feel that you're a sloucher, or you spend a lot of time in front of the computer, then this is so important for you. I'm going to strengthen the upper body, strengthen the spine, and open up space in the front of the body. So inhale, push a little bit into the hands, but not too much. Inhale, lifting the chest a little higher. Back of the neck stays long, so you're not jutting the chin forwards. You're looking down to the mat. Exhale, we bring our forehead or the chin to the ground. Inhale a little higher, but a little less weight into the hands this time. And exhale down. One more. A little higher this time. And exhale down. Inhale, come up. Gentle squeeze of the inner thighs. Gentle contraction of the butt cheeks as well. You're not clenching so much that you're really, really tense, but it's an engagement. And you might stay here. You might practice taking the hands off the ground and it might be enough for you. If you feel you could stay here a little longer, inhale, reach the arms forward in a V shape. Exhale, bend the elbows in a W shape. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. If it's too much to do with your hands in the sky, you can glide your hands on the ground like this. This might be enough. Or you can do it with your hands off. Inhale, reach forward in a V. And exhale, draw the elbows back. Shoulder blades together. 2 more. Breathing into the ground. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, this time take the hands wide like an airplane. Lift the heart a little higher. And then bring the arms back behind you so you're shooting forward like a dart. Breathe here, opening up space. 1 more inhale. Exhale, hands under the shoulders. Come all the way back to a child's pose. And bring the head to the ground and the arms rest beside you. And coming back up to sitting. Final little move, and it's a simple twist. So take the right hand behind you, and you can either stay here with your legs crossed and just cross the hand over, or the hand can stay in front, whatever feels comfortable. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, twist, but exhale all the air out, and at the bottom of the exhale, then twist a little further. Inhale into the belly. Exhale all the air out. Pause on your exhale and twist a little further. Just nice and gentle. But these, whenever you're in a twist and you're breathing into your belly, it's massaging the inner organs. So you can use your breath as a way of really sending blood and prana or energy down to your organs and into your belly. This area that often gets forgotten. Looking over the back shoulder. Nice full breaths, long exhales. Pause at the bottom of your exhale, twist a little further. 1 more. Inhale, come to center. And exhale, twist the other way. Take a deep inhale, lift the heart. Exhale all the air out. And twist a little further. 3 or 4 more breaths like this. Inhale, come to center. Little counter twist the other way. Just a little pause there and then come back to center. Take your hands onto your thighs. Close down the eyes. Take your awareness to your breath again. Notice if you have more awareness around the chest, the ribs, the belly. Relaxing the shoulders. And then place your hands on your belly. Notice the movement in the belly as you inhale and exhale. And again, if you're someone who habitually breathes into their chest, then fake it before you make it. Begin to train the body to breathe back in our natural state. Pushing the belly out as you inhale, drawing it back in as you exhale. And bring the hands back down to the thighs. And slowly open the eyes. So thank you for joining me. I hope that you are feeling a little more full and aware in this area of the body, and that you can take that with you for the rest of your day. If you want any more advice or any more tips or information about the breath and about how we breathe and how we can optimize the breath, then do get in touch. And I'd love to help you with your breathing. Thank you.